Hello all, it's the 25th of August 2016, Dan here from Essex, United Kingdom. So time for a political video now, and if you're here, you've clicked on it, you've seen the title, you've chosen to click on it, but if you don't want to hear anything about politics, then please click out now. Thank you. Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about GCSE results. Now apparently there's been a big drop in the pass rate or something like that. Now I was looking at this and I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about my own experiences. Now I'm 31, nearly 32, and I remember doing my GCSEs 1999 to 2001, which I took the exams, and I think I got something along the lines of 5 C's and 3 B's. Something like that. I can't say I worked particularly hard. I put a little bit of work in some subjects, but to me, a lot of it just seemed completely pointless, if I'm honest with you. Of course, it's not always pointless, and it's certainly not pointless for everybody. Some people do very well out of the school system, but for me, it certainly wasn't for me. But some friends of mine have done very well, including one of my friends who's on a very high salary now, over £100,000 a year. He went to grammar school, then A-levels at the grammar school, I believe, and then he went and got quite a good degree in fine art, and now he works for an advertising company up in London, and as I stated, he's earning over £100,000 a year at the same age as me. So doing very well, and he put the work in where required and he reaped the results. But I was watching some people on there, young people, sort of 16, 15, I suppose, along those sort of ages, which you would be when getting GCSE results typically, and they seemed some of them were disappointed at their exam results. Now, looking at it from my point of view, just because you don't sort of achieve what you want to achieve, or what people think you should achieve in your GCSEs, certainly don't throw yourself on the scrap heap, because there are many ways in this world in which you can progress. So what about if you're business minded, if you think there's an idea that you would like to do, then why not try and find a way to bring that out to the world? Why not try and find a way that you can sort of realise your potential in this subject? So, for example, people may laugh at this. If you're 16 years old, you may fancy, obviously you'd probably have to wait till you're old enough to drive before you did this, or find someone else to work with, or someone to drive you around. But what about if you fancied having to go at window cleaning or something like that, and you then proceeded to work slowly to build up your business, learning what was required, learning the trade, that sort of thing. People out there mustn't think just because they haven't achieved their exam results that they wanted, or somebody else wanted them to, that they're ready for life on the scrap heap. Far from that. And you may also find certain courses in colleges or whatever that don't require you to have amazing exam results. So I personally think in today's society we place too much pressure on formal education. I believe that a lot can be said about sort of life skills, life education, and learning from one's own experiences and the experiences of others. For example, the gentleman's no longer with us now. It's quite sad actually, but this chap I used to know was a market trader in London. Back in the 50s and 60s and 70s and that sort of thing. And this guy's mental arithmetic was absolutely amazing. Mathematically minded. He knew so many. People would say to him, "Oh, I want some of this, some of that." He could add it all up in here. Literally just like that it was. I know another chap who ran a pub. He's retired now, and mental arithmetic wise, he could add it all up. Whereas of course now it's all done on a till, isn't it, in a pub? But in his day, he was adding it all up in his head. I'll have 1 Tetley's, I'll have 1 whiskey, I'll have 1 G&T, I'll have 2 bags of salt and vinegar crisps and a Mars bar. This bloke could literally just add it up like that as he was going. So of course a lot of that's experience, and to my knowledge neither of these people had any form of academic mathematical qualifications. So I'm not sure really the way that we're going in this country and if it's the right way. So for example, yeah, okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to get your GCSEs, you're going to get some A-levels, then you're going to go to university and then run up, maybe up to £9,000 a year worth of debt, then come out 27 grand in debt to do with the tuition fees, not mentioning the living costs that you may run into debt with whilst you're up there. I wonder if this is necessarily the correct way. Is there another way? Could we go back more sort of the old apprenticeship style way of doing things? Could we train people to use their own minds so that we don't need so much in the way of formal education? What can we do? Has anybody out there got any ideas on this subject? So if you take this, take this for an example. So you study something at school, not school but college. You study bricklaying. Okay. People might laugh and say, "Oh, bricklaying." Well, bricklaying is a great job. I know several and they've done incredibly well for themselves. And you study bricklaying at college. You then qualify age 18, something like that, I don't know, whilst getting experience on the building site, of course. And then you start work, 18 years old as a bricklayer. Okay, you give it 5 or 6 years working for someone, you learn a lot, you get some contacts in the industry, you learn from other people, you make plenty of mistakes, scrape your knees many times, you learn, and then you look at starting your own business if you can get a little bit of money behind you, and of course the knowledge. And you then slowly build up from there. So you say you start off with building a garden wall for someone. Okay, you've done your garden wall. Then you build a little brick wall shed. You do a few pillars, that you hang gates on. You think of all the things you can do. You do a garage for someone. Then you do an extension for someone. And then you start taking on bigger and bigger contracts, building up this business from this one little thing that you've got. And it's unbelievable, really, what I think you could achieve with this mindset from a young age. Now, I myself was always looking for something, but I can't say I really found it until I sort of discovered my love for gardening. But if we can try to sort of encourage our youngsters to get this from a young age, I think it could be far more beneficial to the country other than just sticking them in a classroom and teaching them. This is what I think anyway. Not saying that the other professions which they think require academic qualifications, that require time in classrooms, I'm not saying they're not relevant. I'm merely saying that the conventional educational route may not be for everyone. But there is so much that can be done, I think, if people, if we just readjusted the way that we think. Not being so quick to saddle our young people with £9,000 or £27,000 up to £27,000 worth of tuition fee debt, when there may be another way by training people to use their own sort of brains and working their way up from the bottom. What do you guys think? Do we need to have all this formal education, or are there other things that we can do? Okay, so this is just a introduction with regards to this sort of style of video. If anyone out there wants to add anything, please feel free to put it in the comments down below. I've got to go now because I've only got 30 seconds left of filming time on the memory here. Speak soon.